Hop on straight.
Hello.
Hey, hey, how you going, man?
Fine.
All right, GG, bad luck. I thought that one was going pretty well for you. Where do you think things went wrong?
I think it went wrong. I don't know. Before I did the high Templar drops, I didn't scout it enough to counter his composition fast enough, and then yeah, I lost um all the fights and my momentum. And then he had just a better army and controlled it better.
What do you think you needed to have added in there? Just Colossus? Do you prefer to
I
just have
think
more Tempests up?
Yeah, I think Tempest just earlier. Then when he wants to take his fourth base, I just siege him earlier with Tempest and with an Oracle or an Observer. I see his ghost, and then yeah, I don't let my whole army getting him EMP'd, and then I think I win quite easily because I can just harass him.
Yeah, just pick away at him forever, right? So I
Yeah,
guess in the late game, I mean, besides getting the units out early enough, so it was the main things were have the vision with either an oracle or a few more observers, and the other
yeah,
one I guess was having the High Templar spread out a little bit more, just so
yeah,
you can always fall back and always he can't really keep chasing you ever. So then you can just fall back, poke forward, fall back, poke forward, I guess.
yeah, yeah. Especially that. Yeah, that's quite important.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, you went crazy on the harassment. Your Warp Prism did a lot of damage. I just
Yeah.
realized that I've opened up the wrong replay. But what exact point did you want to restart from? Like, is there a specific moment?
Yeah, like when I took my fourth base and I harassed him, like around that time.
Okay, cool.
Like
So
I don't know,
probably right when you were just down and he was kind of sieged up just down the ramp of his natural, and you were kind of just poking in around his liberators, like that moment.
yeah, yeah, like that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, cool, cool. I think that's gonna. I've got a few timestamps written down here, so I've got probably about 11 minutes in the game, maybe 11:30. So we'll try
Yeah.
11:30 and see how it goes because there was a
Yeah.
lot of harassment this game. So can you guys just leave party and I
Um.
will re-invite you to
Yeah.
my new party, the special party, party of happiness and awesomeness, and we will recover that from 11:30. So the big things you're going to be changing is just trying to get that vision up a bit more, get your tempests out a bit earlier, have the oracle to
Yeah.
tag the army,
Yeah.
and just pick
Don't
away at him.
don't waste don't waste the war prisms. Split just high Templar take the fifth base better. Like that my probes are there. Maybe cannon a bit, just like everywhere
Yep.
High Templars Oracle Vision, and not like just sitting around his fourth base and doing nothing basically.
Yeah, play the full map hack late game Protoss where it's
Yeah,
funny, right? Because I mean, we say that like there's nothing Terran can do if you get the perfect setup of this, right? And you get like enough Tempests and enough Vision and enough High Templar, but it's very easy to screw up. And
yeah,
if you suddenly don't have Storm, your army is so weak, right? He can just jump on top of it and kill everything. So it's always
yeah. And I
about
think
keeping that spread up and having the vision constantly so you can pick away the
yeah,
ghosts whenever they come forward.
yeah, especially that. And the thing is I think this did it. The best thing I think is like you need to trade the adepts for something. Like the adepts are basically useless in the late game, especially in the fight. And if I have charge shots, I can nuke his bases. He can't defend drops that easily. And
Yeah.
especially in the fight, I can just open like 16 zealots, and they're like a game changer. But I
And
didn't even have charge, so yeah, they were quite useless. So I think like half of my army with the adepts was just like wasted supply, to be honest.
yeah, I definitely feel that. I've been trapped in that situation before. A charge lot's so much cheaper and they pack a really hard punch as well. So awesome. We are almost there. Thanks for your thoughts. Good luck. Have fun in the
No
regame, man.
problem. Yeah, I try my best.
Awesome. All right, guys. We are getting there now. The recovery game is complete. Okay, this is the moment. Get acquainted. Um, tell me when ready. To remind you guys of the situation. Primelot. Oh, wait. Actually, I think they can see. Oh, It's okay. You both know what's going on. There's a scan on your army. there's a scan of it. Okay. Go. Let's do it. I was like, oh, I don't want it to resume right when they're next to each other, and then their armies just instantly clash, and one of them is not watching, and he just loses everything. So this Warp Prism's continuing to be a dick. He just did the Storm Drop on the natural, and this is that point where he's just zoning around trying to be really annoying. And Epic's accidentally already built a whole bunch of Vikings, or 4 Vikings anyway, which aren't going to be particularly useful versus this army. Primelot really focused on his upgrades this game. So he is getting those sick upgrades, but his army is very reliant on this small number of High Templar, and oh man, he's actually getting crazy aggressive up here. I don't know if this is going to work out too well for him. Yeah, like this is good harassment by him, but also a very good pullback timing. If he stayed any longer, he was going to get torn apart. But because he's maneuvering around like this, notice it's very hard for Epic to always have those Liberators set up in the right position. Ooh, does blink just half a second too late. And he's going to lose another Adept there as well. Lots of shield damage in the splash from those Widow Mines is pretty big. And, you know, I do think this should be, to be fair... Oh, he's killing his own gateway. So he's going to be going for charge this game. When he gets the gas, he really should be getting that charge up. That's something he was talking about, right? Because he wants to be doing a big Zealot warp in. Because think about it, if you do a 10 Adept warp in, that is actually 250 gas. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that's almost 2 High Templar. Whereas you warp in 10 Zealots, it's the same mineral cost, you know, still 1,000 minerals, but 0 gas. And that really adds up in the late game when you're wanting to build things like Tempests and High Templar in large numbers. Not to mention the fact that Zealots are actually a little bit better in a front-on battle where you don't really have time to shade them to the right position and micro them because you're too busy microing everything else. Oh no, these Adepts not really going to have a great job there. Some decent storms, but I think this is... Oh, nice feedback there, actually. Pretty decent trade here for Epic, though. It takes forever to clear through those Adepts because he's so busy dodging the storms. You know, Epic doesn't have vision to know where the army is. So for him, this is actually very, very tricky to know where and how to engage. And oh, some brutal storms. These Liberators taking so much damage. But at the same time, Primelot is so exposed out in the middle of the map. I mean, he finds these really great engagements, but then he stays too deep, too long. And really just got a little bit too aggressive there. Primelot, you know, he said it at the start, he likes to be aggressive. He likes to dictate the pace of the game, but I think definitely staying a second too long there, and only now does his 3-3 kick in, just a few seconds too late. Primelot's got Zealots, he's got Charge almost finished. He does have his first 3 Tempests out on the map, but he can't be out here fighting. He really needs to get an Oracle. He almost just... Oh, his Observer's almost dead. He needs to keep these Observers alive, and he needs to keep pumping Observers and rotating them in. But he's only got that 1 Observer out right now. And if he wants to build 3 Tempests at a time, he can't do it. So let's see if Primelot's able to execute what he said he wanted to change up here. And oh, that Ghost positioning on the high ground from Epic. If the army moves there at all, that Ghost was going to snipe the crap out of it. Both players positioning really well. Epic's late game looking very impressive so far. Another nice Storm Drop goes down, but Epic maintains 68 SCVs, a sick worker count. Of course, like I said earlier though, there is no counter to Tempests. You need to catch the Protoss out. Primelot's job is to not let that happen. He needs to get this vision out on the map. He needs to get an Oracle out here tagging these units. Right now, Primelot is just sitting here with his army all clumped, and this is the same thing which got him killed last time, was a Ghost walking up, EMPing all of his High Templar, and then getting blown away. So he wants to pick away. He wants to keep doing damage to Epic, to try and force Epic to engage into his storms, but at the same time, vision is his big problem. His Tempests are having to go way closer than they really want to. And now, oh, a sick EMP lands. There is still 1 or 2 storms, but no, more EMPs land. Once again, Primelot caught out on the map way too far with his units not pre-spread and not using that vision properly. Is Epic going to be able to capitalize? He already killed a few units off there very well, but looks like some more High Templar were in reserve. He desperately needs to warp in more High Templar because right now he... Where are they? He's got 8 High Templar on the map. He's got a few spread throughout. Okay, he does have some backup High Templar now, so he's not going to die. If Epic chases too far, then High Templar will close in from all sides. But he desperately needs that Oracle. That really is what's hurting Primelot right now, is his inability to control, you know, his vision, to see where this army is. Great Storm on the flank there, does a good amount of damage. Those medevacs are getting very bruised. Another one comes down. And this army is taking a lot of damage, but the medevac count, 10 medevacs, is still going strong. Another storm goes down. Wow. Primelot really trying to hurt Epic as he moves around this map. This is a live game for you guys asking there in Twitch chat. This is What If Wednesdays. So we get pro players to replay games. Oh, double overcharge does get down before the EMP lands, but Epic here is pushing into a very risky position. Oh, that's quite risky. Oh my. This is really ballsy. Oh, the EMPs on all high Templar as they come up. The Archons still have some shields. The Vikings, though, going to start to engage on those Tempests. And oh my god, the Bio stands strong. This was a brilliant maneuver from Epic. Epic showing his skills in the late game, and Primelot, unfortunately, forgetting that Oracle, just completely forgetting to come on down there and deal with that. So I honestly think Primelot will want to restart from the exact same point and just do things slightly differently. I mean, he's got every tool he needs to defend here. You can slow down that Terran advance for a long time, but I am curious to hear what his input is. I feel like he's going to say the same stuff as last game. Oh, Chargelot's actually defending now. A few of these good Storms and Chargelots turning things around. Primelot's big advantage from earlier on in the economy actually does finally kick in. And oh, okay, Primelot does manage to hold on. Just barely, though. Oh my god, I thought Epic had done it. Epic has to secure a 6th base now. He's already got a 5th up in mining. Oh, he's got a really good orbital count, actually. His mining is pretty sick. But he's got a big kind of halt in his production right now, where he needs to transition his SCVs. Where are they? Okay. Yeah, okay. He's going to have a fully saturated 5th, and he's trying to take the corner base, but oh, Primelot gets there first, and he's going to scout this with the command center, which is something. But he'd much rather have taken a sneaky planetary down here. Don't know if he knows about Primelot's 5th down there just yet either. He's going to scout up here as well. Another base going down for Primelot. And Epic doing this cool thing, which not many Terran players do, where they just take like 3 planetaries in the late game. And they're like, yeah, if one of them dies, you're not going to kill the other ones. Like, I can afford to lose one, and I'll constantly have somewhere to drop mules. At the same time, adding 2 more Stargates. Maybe going to be adding in range Liberators with this. And a couple Zealots working on that planetary. No building armor upgrade is done yet. That's something he will want to add in the near future, as that just destroys Zealots. Because at base, a planetary fortress has 3 armor. You add building armor, it becomes 5 armor. And then the Zealots do almost no damage to it. Looks like this planetary up here is under siege. Very few meaty units with this, but there's no ghosts to EMP that because Epic is so low on mules right now. These Vikings are going to have to land to fight that, I think. Those Zealots doing a nice little bit of damage. Did that command center go down? It did. Uh-oh. Epic losing some of these command centers. Is securing that one in the left-hand side. Does finally clean this up. But Epic's down in supply. He's down in army supply. Upgrades are equal. No air upgrades, just the plasma shields with +2 on the way here for Primelot, but +1 ship weapons is done for the Vikings as well. More Vikings and Ghosts are on the way. Vikings to deal with the Tempests, Ghosts to deal with everything else, and Bio still as the meat in this army, as it should be. Looks like, oh, Epic here looking for the fight, but Primelot, he's actually got Oracles on the map now. If he can tag this army and actually get that vision going, he's going to be in a fantastic position. Planetary in the top left is up, it's alive, and it's gonna hold on unless he commits a significant amount of units to kill that. I think maybe a drop in the back here or around the back of there could be a decent move for Epic. Just throw away, say, 8 Marines or 4 Marauders. But looks like Primelot here, he's hungry, wants to go and engage. And I think he's going to find a decent angle. Where are those Oracles? Where are the tags, man? He's got Oracles in this army, or at least one here, but it's not really tagging anything just yet. And that vision is really what's hurting his ability to use these Tempests right now. Every second that goes by that he's not shooting Epic's units for free is definitely time wasted. Looks like one of the Oracles must have already gone down. Is going to just keep poking forward. If he can get that Watchtower, that'd be fantastic. Oh, does land a pretty nice storm there. Does lose the guy though. There we go. Tag some of those units. That's the important vision that he needs. Now Primelot can shoot them from so much further away. And that's going to be fantastic. At the same time, Phoenix coming in to scout that right-hand side, making sure he's not getting wrecked down there. He's got a few emergency High Templar just spaced around this map in case the ones in his main army do get EMP'd, he can fall back to them. And yeah, here we go. The Tempests now, you see, they're able to shoot from so much further away. And this is where things just look helpless for Terran. If the Protoss player uses the vision with the Tempests correctly, and just pokes back and forwards, Terran needs to engage. He just gets forced to attack in. And that's where Storms are at their best. There's so many Tempests, 8 of them out. There's even a couple of Void Rays in the mix as well. And it looks like he is going to fall back temporarily. He needs another tag on this army. That Oracle doesn't quite have enough energy just yet. So Epic has a brief moment of respite, but no respite for you, man. You're gonna get wrecked. Epic's planetary goes down. Primelot's got this late game going, and as hard as Epic fights, he really only has one fight left in him. There's so much bank for Primelot. This fight needs to go really well. Epic's mining gas down here. He's got like, you know, one mineral line, another mineral line still going. He can kind of replenish a little bit, but it's going to be very tough. He's adding more command centers. He's looking for the engage. He's going to go for it. Good pre-spread, but he just doesn't land enough EMPs. The storms scatter all over that Bioforce. The Vikings doing okay against these Tempests. The Bio actually doing decently on the ground as well. I think he might be able to overwhelm here. Oh, there's only 3 Vikings left, and there's still a whole bunch of Tempests. The charge lot reinforce is big. There's so many gateways for Primelot. He can reinforce a lot faster. Epic always impressing me with these engages, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. That Marauder Micro on the right-hand side looking good as well. There's only 2 Tempests left. Those Marines are going to be they're going to snap that Tempest on the left. That goes down. Last Tempest. Primelot struggling in this late game, man. I feel like Epic's like a god of these engagements, and Primelot's just faltering just a little bit at this stage. Definitely looks more comfortable in the early to mid game. How is Epic making this so close? Good patient engagements. That's something we're definitely, during the question and answer, we're going to look at this game. We're going to look at a bunch of the fights, and I'm gonna ask Epic about how he engages these fights, exactly what he's focusing on, just to kind of talk us through it, because he seems to do it so damn well. At a point in the game where he's down in bases, he's down in bank, and generally Protoss is considered to be a bit favored. Alright, Chargelot's coming on in. There's a planetary. Oh no, there is no planetary there, but he's securing it. And oh, the spreads are pretty damn good. Epic here. Like, this is like Primelot's still trying to push with next to no units. Has he got Tempest out? He's got 3 Tempests out, yeah. If he can just keep playing this slow Tempest game, I mean, he's mining bases so much faster. Let's check the resources lost. Yeah, Epic actually 3,000 resources more efficient this game. Still building ghosts 4 at a time. That's what he really needs right now. Those ghosts are what get reset pretty hard, whereas Primelot seems to always have High Templar to back up his force. Primelot trying to build a pylon down there, another planetary going down. This is kind of cool for Epic that, you know, right now Primelot can maybe kill this planetary, but actually he doesn't have as much firepower as he did before. Mass repair might help. Oh, mass repair, you got a mass repair, but no, too much surface area for the Zealots, too late on the repair, not going to kill a lot with that planetary. Like I said, the building armor is actually huge at this point of the game. Oh, he gets the EMPs! Oh man, let's put this on Epic's camera now. Okay, he's repairing that one down there. The Marines and the Ghost are going to defend that planetary, and looks like he's going to try and find the engage on the front as well. Dives on top of everything after, you know, knowing there's no more snipe left. He's down in supply drastically. I think there might just be too much Protoss, even though Epic's fights are so bloody good. He lost the planetary in the bottom right-hand side. These Archons coming in doing massive damage. Primelot is zerging him pretty hard right now. But Epic is just like the master of engagements. I feel like they've kind of swapped roles a little bit. Normally Terran is meant to kind of swamp over Protoss, and Protoss is meant to take these super efficient engagements, but they both swapped roles here, and both are doing a very good job of it. Primelot just keeps expanding, it keeps spending his money, but Epic keeps out-engaging him. At this point though, I think because Epic lost that planetary, that may be the nail in the coffin. He lost the top left base and the gold base, and now his mining is severely limited. If you look in the income tab, triple the income for Primelot, and he's kind of had that going on and off for the last few minutes, so it should be pretty much over. So just watching this from Epic's viewpoint, we can see exactly how he does this. These are pro players flexible. Oh, decent EMP, but there's still storms in there. Yeah, I think there's just too much Protoss at this point, man.
Ready to plunder.
Base is under attack.
Yeah, he's gonna try and fight his way back into it, but I don't think it's gonna work out. Too many Tempests, too many Chargelots, Archons, and Storm coming in on top of everything. And it looks like just a little bit too much. Epic fights valiantly. I love his mass command center move as well. So sick. But at the end of the day, Primelot is finally able to close that out. Thought that one would be a simple rematch, but I thought that would be simple for Primelot to win from that position, but I guess not. Turned out to be very, very hard. Hey man, GG's. How's it going?
GG's. Are we doing this replay again? Because there was one moment where I was pretty sure I just won the game, and then I pushed into his fourth and lost all my units. So if we resume, I'd like to go to exactly that point.
Yep. The one where you ran up his natural ramp and you killed everything, and then so where would you like to resume from? Just before you pushed up the natural, or just after
after the engagement, before I pushed into his fourth.
This is perfect. This is one of those situations where, like, obviously it's really unfair to Primal. Like, how's he going to win from that situation? But that's the whole point of this scenario. This is practice. It's you saying, well, I'm pretty sure I should have just won there. Let's make 100% sure that I go back to that exact point, do things slightly differently. Okay, that's how you close out a game from that situation. And it's going to be a small adjustment, a quick win. And after that one, we might actually just start a fresh map if you guys are down for it. Depending on the situation, because I feel like we've already seen this one play out in a few different ways, and I think it would be cool to see a different map. So I'm just fast forwarding the replay to find the exact moment, because that's like a very precise time that I need. While we're there, or while I'm doing that, command centers. I like how in the late game you start taking like multiple bases on either side. And is that something you do specifically because you feel like you're a bit behind, so you can't necessarily defend both of them? Or is that something you just generally do in the late game?
I mean, I generally try to do it either way, but this is just because he had a war prison that was really, really, really ruining my day. And like he was doing zealot counterattacks everywhere, and I knew I wouldn't be able to defend a base if he pushed it. And so I pretty much had to take two bases, and it happened a lot of times where I secure both bases, lose one of them, and then go back to the other one. So it's just, you kind of have to do it, I think. Otherwise, it's too easy for him to just go and pick off your bases and ruin your economy. Because you can't split up his army. Like, you can't split up Tempest, Templar. You're not going to, like, break it into two groups and try to attack both bases. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really like that. So Primelot's just grabbing himself a drink of water while I find this moment, which I'm almost there. But that's cool. I do like that. Yeah, because there's so many situations where that happens. And also a planetary, it represents such a strong point where, like, if someone hits it with, like, even 10 charge lots, if you just repair it, like, they get killed, right?
Yeah.
So if you kind of sneak one up on the other side of the map away from his army, even if you couldn't defend it at that moment, if it just survives for a minute or two, it can, like, really pay off.
One thing that I'd like to see him do, and maybe I'll talk about this, I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to talk to him before we go into the next map, but he should use DTs. Like, I didn't have turrets at a lot of big bases because I couldn't get them up in time, and eventually I did get them up. But even so, if you just take 4 DTs and right-click on the turret, I'm not going to react in time.
Yeah.
So, DTs really, really, really ruin my day late game.
DT late game is ridiculous. I think, you're fucking kidding me. I clicked on the wrong replay. I'm so mad right now.
Oh my god.
It keeps showing up at the top of my replay folder. I'm so annoyed. So sorry, man. All right, so that's cool. We get to have a little bit of question time with you then to fill the time, which is good because it's entertaining and you have a really good opinion. I was like, I swear the fight happened before this point. Why is this? What the hell? And yeah, I'm an idiot. What? Tell me something that we didn't know. It's like, okay, so TVP that okay, so one thing, and I'm going to talk to Primelot about this as well, is after that first game, we were talking a bit about how, you know, once you get to that Tempest stage, Protoss is advantaged, but it's very easy to fall apart if they mess up and, you know, let all the High Templar get EMP'd. And I felt like you managed to pull that off like 17 times in the last 2 games, which was pretty sick. It was pretty cool. I think. Do you think if you had your army tagged more often by an Oracle, it would make your life much harder?
So that's definitely one part of it, and the other is I feel like he's making the mistake of keeping his Templar on his main army hockey. And like, it's fine to not have 10 trillion hockeys for that army composition, but I know a lot of Protoss players like to keep the Templar on hockey and then just spread them around and then move them around by just boxing right click. so that they never actually clump up. Because what would happen there is he would like attack a base, look away, and I'll just go up and EMP all his Templar. There was one time actually when he was attacking the middle north base where his Templar were pretty spread out, and I was going to go up there to try and EMP him. And then he had his Templar in like 2 or 3 groups. And I just waited for like 15 seconds, and then they all grouped up. And then I tried to EMP them.
Yeah, okay, that's really cool. That's something I noticed earlier because I was watching from his point of view and I saw he had the High Templar on the main army key and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that's something we'll talk about later. And that's cool because now you've actually identified that as his opponent. So we'll definitely talk about that after the game. We'll talk about the different keys. Because, yeah, I do feel like if he has his High Templar spread a little bit better and or has the Oracle tagging your army, those will make his life a bit easier.
And he has so many Templar. He had like 20 or 30 Templar. It was insane.
So many. They're spread everywhere. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So I'm almost at that point, finally, where you're rotating up into his base. Let's see. Here we go. So yeah, this is where you find the fight on his army, pick off a few Tempests and Archons. You then rotate into his natural. I'm so sorry this is taking so long for the regame guys on stream, but this is like a really cool scenario that I want to see. And it's, you know what? I would have guessed 1630. I would have been off by just 30 seconds. So thank God I didn't guess, or it would have been right in the middle of the engagement. Okay. 1639. Okay. My guess would have been almost perfect. Jesus Christ, why did I even bother watching the replay? All right.
Too pro.
Too pro, man. Too pro. All right. So what we're going to do is I will invite you guys to party. We'll get that going. Of course, you can keep talking to me just for... can you leave party, sorry?
Yeah, sure.
And then, because I always have to leave to check the replay time. I said I'd try to cut down on the downtime in this episode by specifically doing things differently, and then I've done things so much less efficiently despite that. But that's cool because we get to see some cool late game TVP.
I think a lot of that's also just the map. You can't really like be super aggressive on that map from either side.
Yeah. It's a really very unique map. Cloud Kingdom 2.0. All right, cool.
All
so
right.
1639. So that's going to take a few minutes to resume.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, what did you think early on in the regames? I don't know if it was that game or the previous one where he went Oracle rather than Phoenix. Did that kind of catch you off guard? Were you a bit annoyed with your Widowmine positioning? I mean, obviously, I kind of want to ask him about it as well, but yeah.
So there, I normally keep one Widow. Like the first game, I kept one Widowmine in each base, and that's specifically in case of an Oracle. This is actually a build adaptation I did. I used to send out the 2 Widowmines, but then you don't actually have enough Marines to defend an Oracle, and I don't feel like getting turrets up the top because it's a huge investment and you have to scout it first. And so that's the reason I started doing the 8 Marine drop instead, because you can just keep the 2 Widowmines, you're completely safe against Oracles, and you can drop them later if you want.
Yeah.
But I hadn't played against many Phoenix players, and so that really caught me off guard.
That's cool. Yeah. I remember it used to always be like you always have to pick up your first few Widowmines and dive across the map with your first medevac. And over time, I think Terrans have just gotten better at being like, well, let's actually be safe because Protoss has so many different things they can throw at you. And leaving those Widowmines at home is so good at just stopping Oracles. So yeah, I think that's been a pretty cool change. We see pretty much everyone do that. And a lot of the time you do want to try and like slow down the third base or potentially even cancel it, right? Because the medevac drop usually hits right at that time.
It's really hard on that map because like it's really easy for them to defend with one pylon and they don't really have anywhere to like, you can't bounce between a natural and third or anything because like, they're pushing you to, their units are at their natural, they're pushing you towards the third and then there's like a pylon there or something. If it was on frozen, you could like drop above the natural if they're spawning in the top left. Or above the third, and then like pressure there, and then jump into the main or something. It's a lot easier to do pressure, and then on this one it's really hard.
Okay, cool. That actually makes a lot of sense. Awesome. Well, we're almost ready, so I'll let you retake from here. I'm sure Primelot's going to be annoyed seeing the position he's in, but remember, there's a lot of High Templar. You're still going to have to micro your ass off to win this. So good luck, have fun, man. Kick some ass.
All right. Cool. Mute time.
Awesome. All right, guys, we're going to dive on into game. Let's see if these players are ready. This is a tough one for you, Primelot. Good luck, have fun. 3, 2, 1. And the fight has just happened up here. He's just routed the majority of Primelot's army and then chases these Archons and Tempests into the 4th base and eats a whole lot of Storms. So this is where this time around, actually last time Epic got way up in supply. Actually, I think Primelot turned around again and had fought there. But this time, I mean, Epic with that bank, man, that bank and that insane warp gate count. How many warp gates are we up to? He's up to, actually not that many. Whoa. Oh, he hasn't actually added the extra gateways this game. Oh, that's going to make things a little bit harder for him. He's trying to take a base up there while Epic's trying to take it as well. He was just defending a counterattack there. Oh, I think it was the Storm Drop, actually. Storm Drop came in one more time. Epic's going to dive in one more time. Oh, a few High Templar there on the left-hand side. He's going to snipe those down as well as a few Tempests that just popped out. This position, man. Primelot letting him get into the main base. Oh, no. I think he might lose a lot of infrastructure here. Of course, the downside is Primelot's going to 100% have vision of everything. Oh, is he going to stop the plasma shields? Oh, the plasma shields! It finishes. Plasma shields does manage to complete. The bio army's trapped. I think Epic might have got ahead of himself a little bit here. He is going to try and attack on the front at the same time, but ooh, is this enough damage? Oh, that storm says no. Your army just got wrecked. Ooh. Maybe I should have resumed like 10 seconds later after he got a bit more of an army supply. Either way, massive, ridiculous bank of death is a thing and does exist, apparently. Good Viking count out. That's definitely something. Gonna say goodbye to that Phoenix. 3-3 is done for both sides. Zealot warp in coming in up here. Oh man, he's just so good with his warp prisms. That warp prism does finally get snapped on out of the sky, but Primelot here is pushing in this elite little army once more. And it looks like those Zealots up there. Okay, we've got a Planetary on the north side though. Planetary on the south side. Both are finished now. This Storm Drop is going to come back in once more, and uh-oh. Where's the scan? The scan sees the army, but is he aware? He does have the... Oh, he's got the sensor turret, but he hasn't noticed. He hasn't pulled. Oh, no. All those bruised SCVs from the previous Storm Drop do go down. Bring it up to 82 SCVs killed this game. This has just been a harassment orgy or harassment nightmare, man. These games have been crazy. But I think Primelot is finally going to be able to start spending that bank and getting ahead. He's got to spread out these High Templars, though, man. Oh, loses 2 High Templar to 2 Widow Mines. Youch. Does take a fierce bit of damage there. Let's swap to Primelot's camera. You know, I don't know if you can see hotkeys on this setup on Game Heart. Do you guys know if you can see hotkeys on Game Heart? I don't think you can. But I'm gonna just tell from this bottom right. It looks like he has his whole army on one hotkey, like everything. His Tempests are on a different hotkey. And he's got some backup High Templar down there, which he just threw into his army. Okay, cool. Yeah. So he really likes that army all on one hotkey, and then to kind of manually control things, which can be really good. But you got to be really on point with spotting those High Templar, splitting those High Templar off. Neeb, for instance, never has a separate hotkey for his disruptors, and often accidentally runs them into the front of a battle and loses them in hectic situations, or at least he used to. Obviously, his recent PvPs, that didn't happen too much. He was pretty good at managing them. But it's always something which is interesting, where having those sort of spellcast units on different hotkey can make a big difference. High Templar and Zealots coming in here, wanting to damage the economy more. Yeah, I think DTs is probably a cheaper way to get this done. But still, nonetheless, going to be doing a pretty nice job so far. Good storms on those workers. These High Templar are just going to morph into an Archon and maybe chill behind the minerals. Oh, here comes the fight. Good EMPs so far, but there's plenty of High Templar energy in there. A ridiculous amount. I don't know why this guy's energy bar isn't showing up, but he's maxed. Maybe that's why it wasn't showing up, because it only shows up if they're not maxed on energy. Right, I get it. Damaged health bars for the lose. And it looks like this is going to be quite... Oh, Widowmine actually burrows there, does damage to that Archon. Ooh, just too much Protoss, I think. Not quite enough Terran here. Storms on the Vikings, combined with the Tempest and Archon Blast, mean goodbye. Looks like Epic not quite able to redo this one. Some epic macro TVPs that we've seen here. So I think that's really going to be like the focus of today's session, I guess, is like late game TVP, what both players could have done differently, what they did well, what they could have added in. And you guys start shouting out your questions in chat, because I think actually after this game, rather than doing another regame, I think we might just hop both players into call and just start doing Q&A, because we've already gone for a very long time. Every game's been going for like 25 minutes. So even though we've only had like 2 or 3 regames, it's like, well, each regame lasts literally forever. Archon Storm once again coming in and harassing these mineral lions. Like, it's getting the job done, man. That's for sure. Primelot is just picking away at everything, and right now he's up to 10 Tempests. That's officially a fleet when you get to 10 Tempests. Still hasn't upgraded their damage, interestingly enough. I don't even know if I haven't really analyzed Tempest upgrades at all. I have no idea if it's worthwhile. I always like to get their attack upgrades though. Try and shoot down Vikings and ghosts and whatnot a little bit faster. Looks like Epic's gonna look for that one last big engage. Down 40 army supply. Are these Marauders and Marines god units? Do their stim packs literally, are they steroid packs or something? Do they literally just turn them into fucking Hulks that they're gonna tear apart 6 Protoss units each? I don't think so. I think Primelot's got this one in the bag. He's just gonna close this out. Still expanding all over the map. He's getting cannons on the sides. Got his gold base up. It's gonna go well. Try to use that at x5_pig tag with your questions. I saw a few questions there that didn't have it. Can you guys please retype the question with an at x5_pig tag? It's completely fine for you to retype it. It just makes it easier for me to go through chat and grab the ones that are questions, and we can start answering those. And obviously I'll throw most of the questions over to the players for their expert opinion. As you know, I'm still just a pleb Masters TVP player and PvT player. But, oh, nice flank, but just not enough stuff. Storms raining down from above. The Tempests shooting their big balls of doom, and, yeah. Planetary goes down. One Tempest will fall, and that's the only Tempest that'll fall. 9 Tempests still standing strong, or 8. And that is going to be it. GG. Well played to Primelot. Hats off to him. Did a fantastic job. And alright guys, so we are going to ask these answers